Hello, I'm Panos Kotzathanasis, and this is ASEAN Movie Pulse interviews. Today I'm here with Nadine. How are you, Nadine?
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Of
So, to
course.
begin with the questions, The Litter is a rather different film than the ones you have acted before. Did you consider it a challenge playing in such a movie?
There's definitely a challenge, just because I'm used to doing romantic comedies and drama. I'm not used to, I guess, showing these emotions that I've showed in the leader before. So there's definitely a challenge, but I mean, it's a challenge that I really wanted to take, and it was really fun shooting the movie as well.
But which was the most difficult part in playing Lira?
I guess it's just the fact that we only had one camera the whole time. So every time we had to change the angles, we'd have to do the whole scene again, which is really tiring, especially for the part where it was the climax of the movie. It's really tiring. We would always shoot at night. So my energy level is a bit low already. But yeah, it was really fun, challenging, but yeah, I like the challenge.
Mhm, mhm. Let me ask you something else. If you met Lira in reality, would you be friends
Yeah,
with her?
I don't know, she doesn't talk much.
Okay.
I guess we would able to relate to each other because I'm also kind of an introvert. I don't really have a lot of friends per se. um yeah, yeah, I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, okay.
If
Re-
friends.
Really, you are an introvert?
Yes,
Oh,
I took something to prove this is that I took a DNA an ancestry test,
uh-huh.
and my results came out last week, and it did say there that I am introverted. So
Oh, really?
now I can say that I'm introverted.
Okay, all right, all right. And tell me a bit in general, how do you decide which roles you want to play?
It's really about the storyline or the premise of the script. I could, directors or writers can offer me a good role, but if it's a story that I don't really like, and then the story is a big factor for me. But definitely for now, the projects that I am kind of looking into are the ones that I have never done before, and the ones that kind of challenge the viewers as well. So yeah, it more on out of the box projects.
Mhm, mhm. And how was your cooperation with Mikhail Red in general in the film?
Yeah, direct Mick is very collaborative. Um, he's he's strict in a way where it's all technical. He's strict with the technical, but when it comes to, I guess, sometimes I change the lines, if I feel like it, or sometimes I add nuances that would match the scene as well, or that would make sense with my character. Um and we would talk about the scene even before we start shooting it. So I would give him my ideas or how I felt about the scene, or how I feel like, or what I feel like Lyra would do in that scene, or how she would have reacted. And it's really nice because you don't get to work with a lot of directors that are like that.
Mhm, mhm. So, did you fight at all?
No, not at all. Me and Derek are always talking. He loves not weird, but he loves horror movies as well, and movies that make you think, when you watch them, it's like, okay, how do I interpret this movie? So he likes those kinds of movies, and I do as well. And I guess that's one thing that we really could relate to or relate about. So it's really nice working with him. He's really chill.
Okay, great. And in the end, are you satisfied with your performance in the movie?
Definitely satisfied. I do wish the movie was longer though, to be
Uh,
honest. When we watched the film, because I was able to watch the full film during our premiere night. I didn't really get to see it when we were dubbing because we had to skip some of the scenes, but it felt like it could have been longer. You know what I mean? I feel like it could be or maybe a part two. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very satisfied with the work that we put in, and everyone is really, really happy with the results. We didn't really expect the Liter to be in a major film festival here in the Philippines. So we were surprised that the movie was being recognized in different categories. So that was really, I mean, if we're not satisfied with that, I mean, why? It's weird. So yeah, we're all very happy about the film.
And it was also a box office success, right? So you must be satisfied with that too.
Yeah, very. I mean, I still can't get over it just because, we're just coming out of the pandemic, and this is the first film festival again after, the last one was, I think, 2019, right
Hmm.
before the pandemic. And so we really didn't expect the reception to be this good. We didn't think that people would start going into the cinemas again. We were thinking that people would still be afraid of going outside, and especially it's a cinema, so it's enclosed and there's a lot of people. It's still quite scary, but I'm really, really happy that the Filipino cinema industry is back, and that a lot of Filipinos are supporting it again.
And do you feel that the fact that you were the protagonist of the film played a role in its box office success?
I wouldn't say that, but definitely it's the story. Could be the fact that it's a horror film as well. Uh, and I think I do believe that the market is changing because it changes every couple of years. There was a time or a couple of years where it was comedy that was really top grossing, and there were times when it was horror. There were times when it was about family. So it changes, but this year, last year rather, probably was the time for horror. So I'm really excited to see what it's gonna be like, what the festival is gonna be like this year.
Okay. And one of the topic the movie deals with is harassment in the workplace. Do you feel that this is something women still suffer from in the Philippines? And have you ever experienced such behavior?
I have not experienced anything like that, but I guess in another way, definitely there is a power play involved in that, and I think that's why a lot of Filipinos and I mean Filipinas are experiencing this. Um, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought, but yeah, definitely it's just power tripping. It's just power play, and unfortunately and I've discussed this with my I was discussing this with a friend last night actually. I was i was wondering why Filipinos are not very, I guess, opinionated. A lot of Filipinos actually are not very opinionated, and if something is going on, they're kind of afraid to speak up. And unfortunately, this is the fact in a lot of the workplaces here in the Philippines, especially if it's, if the person who is harassing is someone who is kind of in a high position. So the result would be that, women especially wouldn't want to kind of rock the boat anymore, just because they don't want to lose the job, or they don't want to be in trouble. And it's really sad to know that this is happening constantly in workplaces.
Mhm. And would you say that Filipino society is patriarchal, like say male dominated still, or is that your opinion?
I think it's shifting already. I'm not really sure. There's definitely a shift in it, but yeah, I don't know how else to explain
Okay,
that.
okay, no problem.
Shifting for sure.
Okay, okay. And the second topic of the film is how internet has penetrated the lives of people nowadays. And what is your opinion on that matter? Do you think that social media, let's say, it's a problem or a helpful tool?
It's an advantage and a disadvantage. Advantage to us, good for us because We can connect to families who are far away from us easily, connect with friends on a daily basis. Information is easier because, you just look up something on the internet and then you get all of the information you need as well. Entertainment as well. But I think the disadvantage of the internet is that everything is there. There's a lot of, in the case of the Liter, there are a lot of videos that are very harmful, and that are very violent, that are out there, and we can easily get access to it. And the thing is, these videos have an effect on people's mental health. For kids, it's also easy access, so they can just type whatever and they can see, whatever it is that they've typed. So I guess it's really a gray area, to be honest.
But are you active in social media in general? Do you post on Instagram, Facebook, or?
I'm having a hard time with social media, to be honest, because I think, I like to be out of it as much as possible. I'm the kind of person who likes, being present and just experiencing where I'm at, like physically. It's hard for me to constantly be online. I feel like there's just too much going on social media. I guess at a good amount, it's okay. I do have a timer on all of my apps. I have 1 hour a day. So most of the time, I would just go online to post something, or maybe just, browse real quick I love watching funny videos and,
Okay. Yeah.
reading up funny stuff on the internet. And yeah, that's just kind of my thing, but it's still limited to 1 hour. So, and I guess that's a good amount on a daily basis.
And what is your opinion of the Filipino movie industry at the moment? And do you watch Filipino films in general?
Yes, I actually just watched one yesterday. um, it's great. I mean, Filipino cinema is great, and Filipinos are very talented and very creative. And I just wish that, people really, well, a lot of Filipinos do support the Philippine industry. I just wish there was more, and I wish it was more out there. I'm actually really happy that, the Asian, I guess the Asian films are finally becoming recognized abroad. So hopefully in the near future, it's going to be Filipino cinemas that are up. I mean, Filipino movies that are up there. I'm just really hoping that there's more films that come out.
So in general, Filipino people go to the cinemas to watch local films. They don't go just for the Marvel films and whatnot.
Well, sadly, a lot of Filipinos do just go into the cinema to watch Western or international movies. But with I guess with the whole Metro Manila Film Festival, which is the festival where the Liter was in, a lot of it's a lot of Filipinos still watch Filipino movies, and could be because it's tradition, but I guess it's also because we can relate to these movies, and we can relate to the characters that are in the film. And it just feels good watching a Filipino film. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm still hoping that more Filipinos start to appreciate and really support Filipino films, because I do know that in movie, or in the platforms like Netflix or Amazon Prime, a lot of people do watch the local films, but it's still different when you watch them in the cinemas, of course, because that's kind of part of, it feels different when a filmmaker puts his movie in the cinema and people actually like it, as compared to watching it on a streaming site. Yeah, I discussed this with one of my directors recently. Actually, it feels good when you see people watch your film in the cinema.
And so, The Liter was your first film to be in Metro Manila Film Festival, or was some before?
It's actually my second film in the Metro Manila festival. But the first one, I was a support.
Uh-huh.
I was in a support role,
Uh-huh.
and it was comedy. So it's so different from from the leader, and that was a long time ago. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was in 2016 or 2015.
Okay, okay. All right. And can you give us some information about what you're working on next? Actually, I just read last night that there is another movie with you and Mick, right?
Yeah. I'm praying that this is gonna be a yearly thing, but um just it's just amazing to work with Direct Mick. And I do like his concepts. It's just something that I would personally watch. Even if I wasn't in the movie, it's something that I would watch. Um yeah, it's really exciting. The movie is called Nocturno. I don't want to say anything about the story
Okay,
because
okay, I
because
understand.
you can find out. But I'm very very excited, and I can't wait to see how this is gonna do in the festival.
And regarding your music career, anything happening there next?
I am releasing a single end of next month, end of May. We will be releasing I guess our plans, or announcing our plans, probably first week of May. And it's also really exciting because I haven't done music in almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be my first project again after more than a year, almost 2 years. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So a lot of exciting things coming up next for you in
Yeah, I
general.
know.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I'm also working on a series, but it's with with Director A. So Director A, my director now for the series is actually the Direct Mix cousin.
Ah, which one?
Ray Red.
Ah, right, right. Ah, okay, okay. Ah, all right.
That's
Okay, great.
now the series.
Okay. So, do you ever feel tired? You seem to be working constantly.
All the time. But I mean, if you love what you're doing, it 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 doesn't feel, well, physically you're tired, but you feel good.
Hmm. Okay, great. I guess that's it. Thank you very much for your time.
So much. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, great. This was Asia Movie Pulse interviews from Panos Kodzathanasis and Nadine. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank you.